Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. In this video, I'm going to go through on Golemancer, and I'm going to spend some new money. I'm going to talk about changes over the weekend with the price of part. I'm going to speak into some of the tech tips and tricks that I'm seeing that I need to do to get really launching well with this game. And then I'm just going to spend some time exploring, I guess, the best approach for me right now. And I'm still a beginner with this, so I'm not going to know all the best things, but I hope you'll stick around with me while I'm learning, and also leave your comments below so that I can learn from some of you guys who've maybe been here for days or weeks longer than I have. It's brand new, but I'm excited by this game, so I hope you'll come along on this journey with me. Guys, thanks so much for your time and attention. And without further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Gonna get into some Go here, some Golemancer. And I've been away for a weekend. I went away for a men's retreat with my church. It was amazing. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 200 plus guys singing, climbing, running, learning about Jesus. It was powerful. It was amazing. But I'm back and I'm trying to get into content creation as well as catching up on what I missed. There's things, man. There's I think if you guys were here kind of tracking Splinterlands and Go and stuff, you are just like, oh yeah, and some of the stuff that I'm going to be recognizing here in this video will be like old news, but man, the price has dramatically changed. So part is the token you get for playing Go or Golemancer, and part was shooting around the 90 cent mark, and it's around 36 right now. The chart is really useless like at this moment because the old data when the token launched, when any token launches, there's always a total lack of liquidity, and therefore there's like highs that are unsustainable, right? When one token is on the market, it's the first token of the new token. It gets put on the market and it gets sold. It can get sold for a ludicrous number because there is no supply demand kind of balance, equilibrium. There's no understanding of the floor. And so we get these prices up here where I guess it opened at not 299 hive, and that was the height, and it closed at the same. And then over here, same thing, 299 hive for one part. Versus that's April 5th and April 4th. And I bet it was like one part being sold, right? Like it's not dozens and dozens or hundreds and hundreds at that price. And then on April 6th, we see a more reasonable 8 hive, which would be probably at that roughly a $2 range, I'm going to guess. Maybe it was like $2.50, something like that. And then maybe even $3. Anyways, then we slowly trickle down into like more reasonable. Here's a 0.8 hive. There's a 1 hive, 2 hive, 2 hive, 2.5 hive. And these are days. Each of these is a day. Now here we are at 0.87 hive. We've been here before. Saw it here. There's 1 hive. There's 1 hive. There's 0.33 hive, 0.8 hive. So, on April 9, 10, 11, and 12, it was relatively low on a hive scale. Is it going to pop back up? I don't know. But I like this game, so I'm putting more money in. Like I said I would in my last video, I'm going to give this a shot. And I see there was, not only has part moved, and is that an interesting conversation, but there's also game development that I didn't know about. And again, I've only been away for, I guess I was totally detached on Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like 3 days. 3 days, and there's a huge move in the economy. Then there's new developments. Like, I might be wrong about this, but I don't think the scavenger golems were here when I left. I might just have totally overlooked that element, but I don't think they were here. And I'm reading about it, and it looks cool. And I'm trying to do the math in my head. Scavenger golems, you have them. The more scavenger golems you have, the more part you'll scavenge. So I guess it just goes scavenge like actively to add up part passively within your game. 1 golem costs 10 part, and the golem wears out. So the golem is going to earn 0.12 part. Easy math, easy way to think about it is, okay, we take how much part is going to produce per hour, 0.12, and we times it by its lifespan. Well, what's its lifespan? Well, it says in the last sentence, beware that your golem wears down and you'll lose them over time. 0.5% of their life, of all golems per hour. That's their life. So it's going to be deteriorating by 0.5% per hour. So if it was losing 1% per hour, 100% of its life is 100 hours. But if it's going to lose 0.5% an hour, 100% of its life is 200 hours. You get 200 hours of production at a 0.12 output. So if we go 200 times 0.12, we get 24. We get 24 part from each golem across a 200-hour window. So how many days in an... So that's in 8.33 days. So in like just in 8.5 days, the part production outcome from having one golem should be at relatively base levels, and there's a way to multiply this, but at relatively base levels, that should translate to 24 part for a cost of what? One golem equals 10 part. So sounds like a great deal to me. Passive income, temporal investment. It's a reoccurring investment. And then there's ways to modify that. So that's what it's doing for me. That's how often it should be a profit. Each golem should ultimately produce a profit of 14 part on top of its cost. 24 income for 10 outcome for output, and that's a 14 profit. But you have to remember that in order to lock in that revenue, you would have to be prompt. You would have to have the adequate defenses to defend between claimings. So it's not logical to assume I'm going to receive that full 24, because it's not logical to assume that as my revenue increases, I will become a more attractive target for your attacks. And therefore, you can presume that I will have to have better defenses to defend my increased income. And so then the economic conversation becomes even more complex, and I love this stuff. This is why I'm liking this game even more and more now that I'm looking at it. And regardless of the part, again, it's new. I have a degree of skepticism toward all of this, but I'm curious enough that I've got another 100 part that I bought this morning, and I'm going to be putting it into the game. I sold some SPS. I guess it was just for clarity's sake. Let's see what that was. Can I see it? Let's go like this. No. Oh, how do I do that? Wallet. Free. Peace. No. Well, anyways, it was about an hour ago. I sold, I guess, forget, it might have been, I bought 100 part. If they're 36 cents, I guess a few hundred anyways. And I'm happy to buy more. I might well buy more part. But for now, let's use what we got. 100 is what I bought. And my first thought is I wanted to buy these scavenger golems. Like I say, that's an amazing passive income. But then there's that counterbalance of, okay, then I'm a more tantalizing victim. Then I need to have better fortifications. I think that's a soul defense modifier, if I'm understanding correctly, because, well, my power and faith contribute also. And I think when I first touched this game and was walking through with Jim, he was explaining that. Shout out to Jim, by the way. I love you, buddy. He was explaining that you can't lose when you attack somebody. You can't lose part in the process of that attack. You can only potentially gain or damage your golem. And I now see that when I attacked this morning that you can lose, and when you lose, you can lose. I think you do lose some amount of part. Still, attacking seems relatively risk-free. So right before the claim, I attack until my wallet is full, and then claim whatever that window is. So I love the scavenger golem. But then I need fortification to increase. I also need power and faith. Faith is to collect more resources from people I'm attacking. But there's another element to it here. It increases the amount you can steal when you attack successfully, and it also determines your maximum shard chance, which is great. I haven't gotten into the shards, but I see I have 3 ancient shards, and I'll be able to buy golem crates, which I'm super pumped about. Super pumped about. And then there will also be a minimum faith level on skill NFTs. I think that's like a future element? Question mark? Like, again, I'm still learning this, guys. This is like the third time this is the second time I've truly dived into this. But it's like the third time I've I guess, touched it and looked at it. So, but faith does seem like it's primarily like the offensive element. I'm not sure that it's truly going to, I think, I could see how this might calculate into my defense in that if somebody comes at me with like a lower faith and they want to attack, and let's say they win, their faith probably gets measured against mine to determine how much they truly end up extracting or modifying the potential for their extraction, I would imagine. But that is my guess, not a confident statement. Power determines your strength when attacking. It only says attacking, so I don't see any comment on defense yet. I know that when I attack, and when I search the windows for opponents, if I go in here and I look at somebody who has one faith and one fortification, I can theoretically attack these people, but as you can see, there's your rating is a lot higher than your opponent, and you will receive a steal penalty of 40%, which is to say that there are modifiers when you're attacking someone significantly weaker than yourself in the form of, specifically faith. So the higher your faith, the more powerful enemies you're going to be exposed to, but also the more you're going to be able to extract from your opponents when you're attacking. This is really interesting, like whether I'm talking about the scavenge golems and the investment and then the passive income it creates, but then needing more fortification to sustain and defend the income. There's a nuanced balance or that you want to walk between offense and defense, and then I'm looking at faith, and it's like the same thing. You want high faith so you can extract more rewards from your opponent, but then the higher faith introduces new enemies that are going to be on your level, and then they're going to come at you and they're going to be more powerful, because as your faith gets higher and higher, you're going to be competing with more and more powerful enemies, because those are people who have invested into this game, and so then you have to up your game in other levels too. It's really interesting how that works. I'm really interested in this. So I think what I'm saying as I'm learning is that I want more scavenge golems, but then I need to increase my total, I guess I think it's, what's this called? The number of parts I can carry. I don't know if it's called your wallet or what. And I think you do that by banking. So I want to bank, but I need to spend. It's like the options and balances, right? The push and the shove. I like that. I really like that. And then I didn't mention yet, but the scavenge golems, like I said, there's that passive income, and it does pay. And if you're regularly claiming, it should end up being a positive gain. 24 income for 10 output is an interesting proposition, but you have to have the appropriate defense. But then the charging station helps too. The charging station increases your maximum number of active scavenge golems and gives you a 0.5% claim multiplier per level above 1. So I'm assuming, okay, I'm going to read that the second part. And where was it? And gives you a 0.5% claim multiplier per level above 1. 5 plus charging station level 2.5. Okay. Charging station level gives your maximum number of active scavenge golems. Gives you a 0.5% claim multiplier. I think it's okay. Got it. So this is increasing two things. One, the number of golems I can operate. And two, so I went from 5 maximum golems to 9 maximum golems being active because of upgrading this morning. That's why I had a 100 part, and now I have 99. I spent 1 upgrading my charging station, and then it gave me a 0.5% bonus on my claim multiplier because I'm at level 2. So I'm 1 level above level 1, giving me a 0.5% increase. That's pretty modest, but the extra golems is interesting. I think in part what I need to do is I need to increase my bank because it's my staked part and it allows me to carry more before I need to claim, which allows me to increase my passive productivity through golems and still attain it by the 8 hours, right? Because if I increase my production to a point where I'm having to claim every 4 hours, but I can only claim every 8, then I'm actually wasting part. I'm never going to see that, or it's going to be maybe stolen from my enemies, and I won't have enough defense or attacks or claims to really extract it. So you really need to do everything, but you need to pick a lane too. And so far, it's been like a attack focused, which has been productive. But I think I want to try the golems too. But it is a 10-part cost, and it's a worn away expense. Like it will not be. Yes, you make 24 for spending 10, but then the golem eventually deteriorates and disappears. Whereas power and faith are a permanent upgrade. So on that note, I'm gonna do the power. So 10 minutes of thinking about golems, and ultimately the permanence of the power upgrade has got my attention. And I think I do need more fortification. It was red this morning, and I spent a few part to make it up to yellow. I guess that's to say that I'm like a bit vulnerable. So far, my play has been to just at the end of my 8 hours battle and extract, but I'm not able to sustain my model here because, as you can see, I'm like burning through attacks. I use 5 attacks, 6 attacks at the end of that 8-hour window to maximize my claim for the day or for the 8-hour window, but then I'm not going to get 5 or 6 new attacks within the next 8 hours. It's only every 4 hours. I get an energy every 3 hours and 54 minutes. So I need to be able to attack twice every 8-hour window and somehow extract what I need with just 2 attacks. With just 2 attacks and just in the production I passively have, which I think actually points me back to faith because I want to extract more for each win. Yeah, I think that's the play. So we want more faith too. And this is Jim's advice, really. He said focusing on like power and faith. I'm glad I looked more closely at the golems, and I do want them, but really, until I have like a more rounded economy, including more fortification and more bank, and I've built everything up, like, because bank is going to be key in allowing me to hold more in my stash, right, in my wallet or whatever. And therefore, until I've really truly banked a substantive amount, I don't really need to focus too hard on passive part production. Let's focus in on the faith. Let's get some more faith, and we'll see how this changes my extraction, because I've been getting between 0.25 up to like 1.5 part from my opponents when I attack and win, and that was based on the lower faith level that I just recently had. Now I've just pumped up my faith 3 times, I think. Let's do one more. This is a 9. I'm going into 9 faith. This is 18 part right now. I mean, but 18 times 30 cents, right? $6 bucks, 18, maybe $5. And then now I'm at 9 faith with 6 power, and that's a significant upgrade. I suspect that's going to change my potential claim from my attacks substantially. And I think I want to bank a little more and see. I want to see what happens here. So I got 3.69. Let's bank 29. See what happens. So it's staking currently. I'm expecting to see this number go up. Okay. I want to refresh. It's at 3.69. No. So banked reflects your staked part. The amount of parts you can carry or needing to claim is determined by your staked part. Your max stash. Okay, so that's called your wallet, called your stash. Your max stash is 6.9 plus banked divided by 3. I gotcha. So adding 30 is not a huge impact because it's divided by 3. So if you add 30, it's divided by 3. So my max stash should be, if I'm doing the math correct, 17 or something. There's clearly something, there's some element there I'm missing. That's okay. We will continue to learn. Oh yeah, and there's this Shard Rush, which I know nothing about. Hello, Golemancers. We're excited to announce that the next event of Sandstorm Shadow Showdown is in Golem Overlord, the Shard Rush. The recent Sandstorm event has stirred up many shards in the ground, making them easier to find. This event will run until 2023 Shard Rush event. In the aftermath of the Sandstorm, your shard finding chance of shard and your shard carry max are now increased by 35%. This is a golden opportunity to gather as many shards as possible. It's almost as if the gods knew you might find a use for these shards soon. Cool. That's obviously we're getting those packs are coming soon. Remember, this fever won't last forever, so make sure that you take advantage of it while you can. Collect those shards and prepare for what's coming next. Happy Golemancing. Love it. Okay, so let's actually, is this just like an ad then? Yeah, it is. Essentially, it's an announcement that in 7 minutes, actually, we are going to, I think, be able to spend the ancient shards on golem crates, I suspect, based on the wording of it. It's like essentially over the last, like for the last few days, they've increased the shard production and how much you can carry, and then they're giving a countdown for when you can spend them, I believe. We'll see in 7 minutes. Okay, and then so I want to go see if my attacks have increased in a substantive way. Now, I was attacking kind of 2 to 3, 2 to 3 in this range were the opponents I was searching previously. And let's see, this guy has, see what happens here. Even with a 10% steel, oh. I'm looking for a small modifier. See, this was who I was attacking this morning. These people with these buildings and these faiths and these protections and these strengths. And I had no penalty, no steel penalty before, but I've upgraded myself. I need to upgrade my enemy. 3, go 3, 4. Boom, boom. Let's see these enemies. So there, see this guy. 6.96 is what he's got. Now my attack is actually the same. This is a 76.992% win probability. That's the win probability I was receiving from my prior attacks this morning. But my range is 0.27027 all the way up to 3. I could get still 3 part from this one attack. That faith upgrade was a huge upgrade because it's just dramatically impacting the maximum return that I can get from each of my successful attacks. And that is going to do 2 things. 1, increase my income, and 2, decrease the number of battle energy I have to use every 8 hours. And I guess 3, therefore, make my production model more sustainable. Because I need to, my method right now, being a power and faith focused, means that I'm going to attack to extract. So I'm going to attack to earn part, and then I'm going to extract. I'm going to do so on an 8-hour flux on a window, because that's what my production and my claim is set to. You can modify when you claim, but currently I'm on the normal setting, meaning that's what I'll have to do every 8 hours. So every 8 hours, I want to attack Really 2 or 3 times at the most. You know, maybe 4 sometimes, but it's got to be sustainable. And if I'm only producing 1 battle energy every 4 hours, that means that I need really to like pretty much nail it down to 2 attacks per 8-hour period, with which I can hopefully fill my wallet, my stash, claim it, and be done. And then, of course, choose to either do a little reinvestment or bank or whatever the case may be. Cool, cool, cool. And the interesting thing about fortification is that if I'm not producing, let's say, you know, I'm not really focusing on the golems, I'm not really focusing on the passive income side of it. I'm actually being that offense focused. I'm going to attack. I'm going to maximize my returns with faith. I'm gonna my power is going to allow me to win 76% of the time against the opponents. That will allow me to fill my coffer with 2 or 3 battles every 8 hours. With this approach, I don't necessarily need to worry substantively about my defense, because even if you come in and steal my passive earnings while I'm away during the 8-hour window that I can't play the game, right? Because it's not that I can't play the game, but during the 8-hour window where I can't claim my earnings, my revenue is gonna, my part is gonna continue growing, and it might get to a place. In fact, it probably does regularly get to a place where it's juicy and you want to attack, and people will, and they have, and that's okay, because those aren't even, I'm not even counting on that part ever be ending up in my hands, because I'm creating an attack play and a repeatable attack play that is going to garner extraction from my opponents. Here's the thing. If everyone does what I'm doing, it probably doesn't, the economy doesn't work, because everyone's attacking and stealing. And that's going to mean that it's like having too many predators in the ecosystem. You need to have a certain amount of prey and a certain amount of predators. And prey can thrive and have their success too. Prey being a passive earner with golems and you know, fortifications, as opposed to this offensive power and faith, because that would be the other model, really. Like, you get the golems going, and yes, they're going to disappear. You're going to lose that. You put in the 10, but then it's going to generate 24, and that number, that production power is going to grow, and then you can have the fortifications with which to properly defend that passive income so that it's there when you come back to claim. And maybe if you're doing more of a prey model, it might make sense to move over to the faster flame cooldown. But the 8-hour window is nice, because from the normal claim window being 8 hours is nice, because ultimately, you know, it's easier to touch base with the game. You know, you go to bed and you maybe sleep 6, 7 hours, 8 hours, and you come back and you're ready to claim. And then you can do it twice while you're awake too. Whereas if it's the shorter, I think it's a 4-hour window, you burn less than 8. Big penalty below 50%, no claim below 25%. Looks like they've changed what this costs, first of all. I think it was a smaller number before. And then also, I think maybe it's some of the penalties have perhaps changed, but 4-hour cooldown is the short cooldown. If you did the short cooldown, are you going to wake up in the middle of the night to get that 4-hour claim? Right? Because you at least sleep 6 hours a night, probably. Are you going to wake up 2 hours early to claim and go back to bed for 2 hours? That's the sketch part. Maybe there's probably already bots that are just press the claim button for you. I don't know, but I assume there would be. Because that would be maximally, you know, you'd be receiving that and maybe banking or putting to work faster. But to me, either the belong with the you get a 15% bonus is best, or the normal. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, and it looks like the shard thing went through. Let's see, can we do anything? I don't think so. Man, I would buy right now if I could. I would buy crates. This is just to send. Yeah, I don't want trade shard. What's shard going for? 32 cents. You know what? I'm gonna buy some shards. How many can I hold though? Yeah, how's that work? Does that work? So I think these were at 30 cents. Yeah, see, like rough stability. They were on Friday when I was here, it was around roughly the same price. And sell orders. The sells are around 0.9 hive and the buys are around 0.82. I'm just gonna put a buy order. Hang on. We're talking like a US dollar differential of, 4 cents. I don't care about that. Sometimes patience is key with crypto. If you come in and place this bid, you're making a significant savings over what I'm about to do. I'm just buying this guy's shard at this price that he's asking for. This guy being patient over here this is a better play. But I'm okay with 4 cent loss on a, let's get 10. No, I want the 18. You know what? I am gonna be patient. Look at he's the guy he's kind of the floor because he wants 220 shards, but then it drops off pretty radically. Let's see. 8, 5. No, 8, 3. Try and get 25. I don't know if that's even gonna cost me. It cost me 20 hive. Make it. Do it. Now we'll see if it even fills. And I see 7 of you guys use the referral link in the description. Appreciate you. Side Tricker, Gildor, John's Flans, Kelsier, Blurs, JPH, there he is, dude. And Rainier. JPH, whoa, JPH is going in. This means this is his rating. And so I think that means that's like how many you burnt. I need to do that, don't I? That's an element of this game that I haven't properly fully, because the burn impacts the reputation, I think. I think that's what that is. And we go over to the battle. And that's the rating. Is I think it might not be how much he's burned. It might be how much he's spent. I forget, to be honest. What's my rating? Let's look for me. Infidel. So my rating's 120. So no, it's not what, because I've not burned any. So but I've spent 129. And so yeah, JPH is going hard. Take another little nibble here. Go back over to, what's it called? Part. Take another nibble here. We got 185 more hive. A sell order. Let's get this. Let's buy this up here. We got 185 hive. That would buy me 189 part at this price point, 9.8. And that's not far from this. See, there's a tightness between the volume has dropped from I think 30 or 40 to 24. But like we said, there's been days where it has been lower and there's been days where it has been higher. Make this happen. This is hop back to go. Here we go. Part received. Okay, so we got 199 part. We got our shards. We got an order for some more shards. I look forward to buying those crates when they come. So again, amount of parts you can carry. Max stash is, so if my max stash is 6.9, ooh, there we go. Here we go. That's right. So do you see what happened? My max stash is now 18.2 because of the bank that I put through. It took a while for that to like register or whatever. But remember, I put through, because look, it's max stash equals 6.9 plus banked divided by 3. And I have 30, call it 30 in the bank. I have 33 in the bank. Divided by 3 is 11. So it's 6.9 plus 11. So it should be this high. But for some reason it wasn't for a beat. And now I'm going to, this is next 8 hours is going to be interesting. I'm going to be able to have a big claim. But see, my passive income is going to be really trivial. Yeah, my passive income is going to be really trivial. What about reputation over here? So I'm not worried about fortification, but what about my reputation? You get a base rate of 0.1 XP per hour. So you get more XP, which I think drives your level. Yeah, you get XP at every full hour. Check reputation for more information. Levels give you claim and energy, CD reduction. Your level determines your daily shard drop chance. 100 times. Okay. So my level determines my shards, like how much shards I'm passively producing. And your prestige determines your maximum. Okay, prestige 0. Your prestige determines your maximum level. Once you reach, you can ascend by sacrificing 70% of your max. Oh, cool. So even like after you reach level 10, you can go into prestige, which is more levels in front of you, which takes a certain toll on your max level XP, gaining 5 more levels. Interesting. As Golemancer, you always strive to master your craft and rise through the ranks of ravaged territory. The prestiging up in levels is a powerful tool to help you can achieve that goal by sacrificing 75% of your hard-earned experience. You can ascend to a new level of prestige and gain 5 additional max levels. Got you. So instead of max 10 being my level possibility, max 15 would be my level, but I have to sacrifice a certain amount of my experience to do that. It's like a reset, and it opens a new ceiling. This journey will be challenging, but rewards are great. You will become a master among your peers and revered. Yeah. You take leap of prestige. Cool. Okay. So I get reputation. So again, my reputation produces XP. My XP levels me up. I can increase my XP production by burning part. Additionally, you can burn part to add to your reputation, max 1.6 XP per hour. And as you can see, I'm about 15 XP away from my next level. So burning part, 2% of your reputation is converted to XP every hour. This is capped at 10% of your needed XP. That part loses me. I'm gonna burn 10, see what happens. I'm gonna burn 9. I don't like odd numbers in the wallet. I don't know why. Oh, I just got the 3 more shards. That sale went through, I guess. But what's gonna happen here? I'm at 11.9 XP at this moment, and something. So I successfully burned 9 part and added to your reputation. So I have reputation, 9.1. That's the burn that I just did. Oh, okay. Interesting. See, so it's saying I was getting 0.1 XP per hour. Now I'm getting 0.3 XP per hour. Is it for how long? Is it only for 50 minutes? That's not an hour. Oh no, I think no. It's I don't know for how long it lasts, but I can tell that this is probably like you can't burn for 50 minutes. No, I can. I don't know. My production has gone up, but it's not even for a full hour, so I don't know how I would benefit, but I think that must be a misunderstanding. I received some XP right there. Okay. Hey, I got 0.7 more scavenge golems somehow. Was it through the burn? Oh, the shards are coming through. Sales are working. I'm totally going to buy those crates when they come through. Okay. Feel like there's not really much more for me to do at this very moment. Because, again, I don't want to increase my passive income at this moment through the scavenge golems. I don't want to increase my fortification because I don't really care about my passive income. Although I do, now that I have a higher ceiling, I actually want more passive income. See how that happened? It's like I've made myself stronger so I could attack bigger enemies, but in so doing, I created my own. I've growing my own stash capacity, and now I'm actually going to need 5 or 6 attacks in order to fill my stash. I won't fill my stash because I don't have enough battle energy. And I can't. There might be a way to increase your battle energy. Maximum energy is dependent on your power and fortification. There you go. See, I need to increase, whether I want to or not, I need to increase my fortification. Power and energy. Well, let's focus on the power and see what happens. So we're going to do a power then. We're going to see how this changes. So I'm at 3.54, 3 hours and 54 minutes to get 1 energy. So let's increase our power and see what happens. So in 30 seconds or so, that should create a modifier for how often I get 1 new energy. And 1 new energy is a 1 new battle. Fortification is going to be the cheaper way to increase, because power costs 20. This one update costs 23, I think. No, the next one costs 23. How did that change things? Refresh. It might take a beat because this is all, it's all happening through the blockchain. Like I submit, I sent a financial transaction just now. I sent art to be burnt, and through that upgrade, and in so doing, that gets logged, and then successfully burn 23 part to upgrade to level 7. It takes some time to like be recorded, confirmed, and then now it's like official. So now, will it change? It took a beat for like the XP bonus to change. It took a beat for, the bank to change. There might be a minute or two before that ends up being updated. But I'm noticing that my reputation's like ticking down. See, it was at 9.1, and then now it's already at 8.9. 2% of your reputation. So if you had a 10 represent, 2% is converted to XP. Wow, okay. Okay. So I'm getting this. I think I understand more clearly. 2% of my reputation is converted to XP every hour. This is capped at 10% of your needed XP for your current level. That part is very hard to mathematically hold on to in my mind. But I think 2% of your reputation is converted to XP every hour, meaning your reputation will continue to go down and down by 2% until it goes away, I think. So I don't really know I think in 45 minutes, my reputation will go down again, and I'll get another buff until the reputation reaches 0. And the 0.3 will go down to a 0.2 eventually, and the 0.2 will be back to a 0.1. And I burnt, how many did I think I burnt 9. All I did was burn 9 for that. So again, what does level do for me? Level, you get XP at every, yeah, I know. You get XP, tech reputation. So it determines how many shards I'm earning, and it allows me to move into prestige. So really, the reputation is unlocking levels, and then levels are unlocking new shards, and shards are going to be really helpful from the perspective of they're going to give you crates, and crates will have items, I assume, which impact your golem. and allow either your golem or your defensiveness to be better and stronger. They'll probably be, some of them will be disposable, I would imagine, like temporary buffs you can put on your fortification, your power, etc. Some of them might be like legendary items that you carry and you can use and equip. That would be really cool. I've done 46 battles on 156 of them. Cool. Guys, I'm loving this. I'm really loving this. And these are all burned. So, I mean, this, again, it depends. This is brand new. It depends if other people like this game too. But I'm enjoying it. It seems like a lot of people are. I can see a lot of opportunity with something like this because there's so many burn mechanics that even though there's production and, you know, certain people are going to receive a lot of production of part. There's also a lot of potential burn for part. Interesting. Definitely worth, in my mind, definitely worth a nibble, whatever that means for you. For me, I think roughly $100 today I put in, and I already put in, I think, roughly $50. I'm gonna put in another $50 and like $200 ish, and I just want to see, because I like this. I really like thinking through this economy stuff. I like the push and the shove because I can't do all the things like Splinterlands. You know how it's, I'll say that about in Splinterlands. You can't have everything. You can't have all the cards and all the land and all the SPS and all the DC and all the DCB and all the, you know, old cards, new cards, packs. You know, there's just totems, titles. There's so many things. You can't have it all. And the same thing is true in a game like this. And I like it. I like it a lot. So if it sounds interesting, there is a link in the description. And I don't even know what I get if you sign up under me, but I assume there's some amount of part that I get when you buy. Look, refer users and earn 2 swap hive for their Golemancer staff purchase. There you go. The use, because a Golemancer staff costs, I think it was like 40 hive. Then I would get 2 of that, and the company would keep the rest. And then I took, by the way, just so you know, one last note on this, I took all the hive that I had in there and I put it back into the game. And so if that's happening, if you guys are coming under mine and signing up, then, you know, that's just going to be more hive that's entering the economy and buying some part or buying some shards. And so, yeah, guys, thanks a lot. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you're enjoying this game, and let me know in the comments below, you know, what you think. And and also, if you see tips or tricks that you want me to recognize or comment on in either a future video or maybe learn from, please help me, because I want to equip myself and hopefully equip others who are looking at this, and not just Golemancer, but also just this space. So have an amazing day. God bless.